Okay, maybe this time. Good flashlight, camera's recording, focused. So anyhow, I'm messing with this. I believe this is considered a MA 205 or 206. Regardless, this is the Deluxe snowblower. The next step up from the Dog Eater, or the next updated version. So basically, Dick Rubinski there on Facebook told me that you'll be able to tell if this has been updated or not by the style of gears it has. I'll be honest with you. Not sure if it's been updated or not, but here's what I see. I'm holding the augers with my knee. The teeth on the gears all look okay. But if you notice, I'm holding the reels with my knee. So that tells me whatever make the gear spinny the shaft is the problem. So I'm thinking it's sheared a keyway. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it's sheared a keyway in there, and I think that's our problem. So we may luck out with this, but I'll be honest, I don't know enough about the Deluxe gearboxes to know what I'm looking at for sure. Trying to look in here and see, that's just ball bearings on that side. The thing I did just notice, I need 3 hands, guys. You see this? See if I can get it rolled around so it's, oh no, now I gotta roll the auger shaft. See this big, sorry guys. You guys see it? Gotta get the camera. There you go. See that big mark in there? That tells me something went down in the bottom of that case, perhaps, and it's causing our issue. The other weird thing I see is it looks like there's an extra set of teeth down in there that aren't engaging anything. Maybe they're supposed to be? I don't know. Like I said, the basic thing I'm gonna have to do is, it looks like if I take this side of the gearbox, or the reels off of this side off, then I can get the bolts off on this side and I can see what's going on. So I may start pulling these reels out of here tonight and just see what I come up with and see what's actually messed up. And I'll start trying to get these reels apart, because as we all know, sometimes things come apart easy. Sometimes it'll take you 3 hours to do a 2-minute job. Always expect 3 hours, hope for 2 minutes. So I'll keep you guys updated on this, and we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, it wasn't too bad to take apart. The only part that was really tough to get off was the bearing, and I ended up putting a puller on it, and I split that, which I have another one of those, I think. Worst comes to worst, I believe I can order another bearing like that, fairly pillow block bearing, fairly simply, I believe. So now we're down to the keyways. This one over here I have moving, because I was going to try and get it out to get the second keyway of the reel over, which I don't think the square chutes had keyways in that, by the way. Maybe they did. I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't had a snowblower part like this. 2010, 2011? It was before I was working, so I would bet 2010, 2011. But anyhow, I might try and get the keyways worked out of here. Well, maybe not. Well, it's 8:50 at night, so I'm going to try and, I want to piddle with these keyways a second, or I'll just leave them the heck alone, and an adventure for tomorrow night. Kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, keyways came out real easy, and I got the side cover off there. It had one shim. So I wish I had like 4 hands and could show you guys this, but it is definitely a sheared keyway. There's one thrust washer in here. Well, I don't know about a sheared keyway, but it's a keyway issue, because basically the whole gear turns and the shaft stays stationary. So, and Steve, why don't you have the gear out so you can see it? Well, I need to clean the shaft so this bearing will slide up, and you guys can see it goes up and hits the paint, and then that's it. So I need to clean this shaft the whole way up to here, so there's no nicks or nothing in. And from me hammering on it, I have put a bunch of nicks and stuff in it. So that looks like a good job for some sandpaper. The nice thing is the seal rides right here where it's already polished up, so anything from here up is not like super critical. If you take like a thou or two off of it, take like a 1/4 inch off, you're going to notice it, which would be about the thickness of this lip up here. But anyhow, that's what I'm seeing on teardown here. I am about 3/4, 7/8 of the way done. I'm to the point of I actually need to get the shaft out and see what's going on. But I'm pretty sure this is the splined, the smaller. It's not the updated version, which is going back to like the dog eater box, but maybe it is. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know that I've ever been into one of these gearboxes. I think there's a whole nother gearbox laying on the bench over there, but I'd never been into it, I don't think. No. And we'll take it apart and look. If this paint wasn't so good, I have a feeling this bearing would come off here. You can see it's rolling the paint up. Alright, I quit screwing with it before I hurt myself really bad. Only smashed one finger a little bit there when the puller flew off at me. So, okay, tomorrow night's adventure. I was hoping to get it the whole way apart tonight, but no bueno. What are you gonna do? So guys, after probably about another hour or so of cussing, I got this thing apart far enough I can actually see what's going on. When I had this in the case, I could not get these keyways out of here. I ended up mutilating these keyways pretty bad. And what I did in order to get it out was I ended up just pulling the keyways through the seal on the side of the gearbox. So I'm going to have to change that seal. But since I have all that stuff off anyhow, it'd be easy to change the seal. And there may be a good seal somewhere here. I have another gearbox. Actually, there should be one gearbox. I bought a shaft and only took apart one snowblower to make that work. Anyhow, but it's got a sheared keyway. That's highly unlikely. Talking to all my snowblower experts, you'd have been more likely to find this gear shredded here, and this gear looks in really nice shape. You know. So I don't know that this was ever updated. I think this is still the fine spline setup Dick Rubinski was talking about. So yeah, I'm going to press everything off this side, because this side over here is the side I had a lot of trouble getting the bearing off of and trying to drive on the back of this auger. You can see how messed up I got the shaft here. So I think I can hit that with a file and take it down pretty good, or I'll just hit it with a flap wheel on a grinder and just buzz the high spots off. I got a couple dings in the bearing area too. I had such a fight with this bearing and I ended up with a puller on it, and the bearing broke and exploded even though I was heating the race. So what are you gonna do? Can't win them all. So anyhow, get this baby in the press, and I'm gonna press this the whole way apart and look at the keyways and everything. So, because I'm going to have to put a new keyway in here, put this all on here, and make sure everything will jive, and look at the bores through the keyways. I might have to, I might have to do some file work on there, but I do believe I can make the snowblower operational again. So, here we go. Only, I didn't look on the other side. This one, there's a thin shim over here, and this was the side I started taking apart. We'll call it that would have been the right hand side of the gearbox, I'm hoping. The nice thing is, I come over here, since I got the reels off the gearbox and everything, I got it up on the bench and was looking at it. So yes, looking at it from the front, would have been the right hand side of the gearbox is where the gear went in. The keyway in there looks good. I think you guys can see it. There's actually, the snap ring actually goes around the keyway. Somebody ground it to hold it. That's kind of neat. It's the whole way out into the spiral. No real big metal chips or anything in there. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I tore the seal up when I pulled that apart. But like I said, I'm hoping the shaft's the same out of a square shoot gearbox, and this one is not the fine spline on the back. It's the regular. So if all else fails, I can just put a square shoot gearbox in. But the Deluxe, from my understanding, they fixed the really fast auger speed that the dog eaters had. That's why they had a tendency to plug. They just fed so much snow into them. So we'll try this once I get to put it back together and see what happens. So anyhow, let me monkey around off camera here and see if I can't get everything the rest of the way apart. And get a new keyway in, because I have a whole square shoot snowblower pretty much disassembled, so I have all the parts from that minus the fan shaft. The fan shaft is what breaks in the square shoot snowblower. So okay, back in the press I go. Here we go. What you guys think? You guys think I can just flip that over and use this side of the key now? I don't know. Pity when I pushed that gear off, it scored the shaft the whole way up there. Yeah. Because I don't think it's the same as a square shoot, I don't think. I could be wrong. So anyhow, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and get this key out and try and figure out what the heck it is. Maybe it's the same as a rider keyway. The potential's always there, right? Yeah. Alright, get this keyway out and let you guys know what I find. So the broken key is the key I took out of the Deluxe dog eater, or the Deluxe, well, Deluxe snowblower. It's not really a dog eater. Well, it is still a dog eater. Anyhow, and this key is out of a rider hub. We're for a 800, 8000s or G series rider. So I thinketh that'll worketh. Eh? Is it out of focus? There we go. I think that'll work. I think it'll work. Just gotta put that, or this, into that. I have to file it a little bit, but, you know. I only gotta do it for one keyway. Well, maybe this one here I had dinked up a little bit. Let me try a different keyway, maybe. And of course, if I dinked it up, don't mind filing it, right? Right. So, I think if you were really in a bind, you could make that work. That rider hub keyway. But I went over to my square shoot snowblower misfortune pile, the one I tore apart. And the one out of there works perfectly fine. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't use it. And I started sliding this back on here, and then I figured, well, might as well take the old video for YouTube and maybe a picture for Facebook. But I think we're going to be good here. The only problem I'm going to have is driving this bearing back down without effing it up. Gotta come up with something, because I gotta pound on the inner race. I can't pound on the outside of the bearing. And push this down on here. Oh, you know what I could do? I could take the cover, alright, cover that has the bearing race in there, and then just lightly tap it or press it down, because that would put weight the whole way around on the bearing. Thinking. So anyhow, I'm gonna get this drove down on here, and then there's spots in the shaft for the 2 set screws. There's one here, and there's one on the bottom. Get those lined up, and then the gear. Let's see here. Yeah, with the teeth in, the gear goes right about where you can obviously see where it's spun on there a couple times. Well, I can a little bit better in person. I think you guys can see it there, but I took a file and knocked this all down. There's probably the piece of the old keyway was in there when that come off there. I mean, I didn't notice it come out, but could be anything laying down there underneath my press since it's not real clean. So hopefully this will go down on there without too much issue. If nothing else, I can polish this shaft up a little bit more. The bearing come off and everything pretty easy. The gear come off real easy. So anyhow, get this stuff put together, and a little bit after 8 o'clock. I only stay out here till about 8:30 at night, and call her a night for tonight and do a little bit more reassembly tomorrow night. I know Ralph, our W3 dog, was just complaining he broke his press, but I don't know. I get crap loads of work out of mine. I've yet to break it, but I got the 20-ton press, where I think he only had like the 12. And I don't know that I've ever really pushed this press beyond its means. If you get a 20-ton Harbor Freight tool, kind of, only plan to use 10-ton of it all the time. You get a 6-ton, or you get a 12-ton, only expect 6-ton. You know how it goes. Now I see why they put all these holes further down on this thing. Before this, I don't think I've ever used much below the 3rd hole down. Near as I can tell, I'm nowhere near the angle on the bottom, so I'll just keep going. Apologize for the shaky camera, guys. I don't want to set up the tripod. I mean, it's just a light press fit is what this is. It's nothing. Oh, arm's tired now. It's nothing too crazy. I'm about to the end of the stroke on the jack here, and you start seeing that second bit of grease there. I'm gonna go until it stops. Yep. I'm thinking I'm on that angle from the bottom. No. I think I ran out of stroke, yeah. So I just get the whole way back to the top, and I'll move her up 2 sets of holes. And I'll repeat. You guys see what I'm up to. This is why I'm not videotaping what I'm up to. Spend a lot of time on the press here. Here, maybe you guys want to see the finishing shot. Boom shakala. Alright. Now, just back to bearings 101. Always something. So I went over and found my spare square chute auger gearbox. And the thing I noticed right off the get-go is the shaft is way longer on a square chute than the Deluxe. So, might be something you can look for in the wild there. Probably, well, later on I'll do that tomorrow night. I'll take the cover off, and I'm pretty sure the gear's in there, the big gear. And show you guys the difference. Fine spline versus coarse spline. And the other thing is, I can tell if this was updated or not by that. I don't know if this is the updated version or not. I really don't know.